administrator with Specialty Heating and Cooling, and I'm here with our Designing Comfort episodes to talk with Phoenix, who's one of our tune-up techs, about what he does on a tune-up and the importance of maintenance, and then just some common questions that homeowners ask Phoenix when he's in your home. So, hi Phoenix, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful, great. So Phoenix has been doing tune-ups for us for about a little over a year and a half, and wanted to explain to you what actually goes into a tune-up when he is out at your home. So what do you do when you're out in front of the equipment?
Well, we're trying to find little things that could possibly turn into a big thing. We want to check electrical, amp draws, temperatures, you know, anything that's going to tell us that there's something possibly wrong with the system, or whether or not we need to adjust the system to perform better, like gas pressures in a furnace. We don't want the furnace to get too hot, so we can adjust.
Right.
But if we find that the compressor or the blower motor has issues, then we can catch that early before it conks out completely.
Yeah. And so do you also take care of the filter or do any other cleaning while
Oh,
you're
yeah.
out there too?
Always check the filters. We make sure all vents are open in the home. A lot of customers tend to try to close vents to move air into other parts of the home, which is capable of being done, but you don't want to do too many vents, and I catch that when a customer has like a hole downstairs closed off just to get all the cool air upstairs, and I make sure they know that that can hurt a system really bad.
Right, absolutely. So, and then I know I've seen it here at the office, but I like to share with our customers too. We have a checklist that we go through and what we provide to you after you're done with the tune-up about our findings and what we've done and the cleaning that we did and any kind of recommendations or future repairs that might be coming up, just to prepare yourself for.
Right, and I always do an overview of what I found, whether it was all good or something needs attention. That way, all my customers know that the system has been checked, and they feel more comfortable knowing that all the main parts were hit and taken care of.
Right, absolutely. So, and then I know also a lot of customers, will get a tune-up once in a while, but we often talk to our customers about being on a consistent maintenance plan. And so when you talk to customers in the home, what are your main points of telling them of why they should, stay on a maintenance plan?
Well, the main thing with a maintenance plan, like I mentioned a little bit ago, is to catch any little things before they turn into big things.
Right.
A capacitor going out can cause a compressor motor to burn out. A compressor motor, $2,500 to $4,500 just for that one motor.
That's expensive, yeah.
So being able to catch that, the capacitor might be running low. It's not completely out, but it helps control the energy to the motor, and we want to catch that before anything bad happens.
Right.
Checking for like moss and mildew buildup on the blades of the compressor outside.
Mm-hmm.
Can cause it to get out of balance and can damage the motor. And
Right.
sometimes I've seen it where it starts breaking loose and it can cut right into the coil. So,
Oh, wow.
cleaning the coil, cleaning the fan blades, checking just a bunch of little checks to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Right.
And we're getting the best temperature, either heating or cooling, out of that system we can.
Right, absolutely. So making sure you're comfortable in your house year round. I always tell customers that it's kind of like your car. I mean, you wouldn't run your car for 50,000 miles without doing any kind of tune-up and then wonder why it breaks down on you. So it's very similar type
Exactly.
of equipment. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So I know you touched base on, making sure that filter is changed on a consistent basis. And I know a filter, we come out and we'll take that filter out for you and make sure it's clean. But also, recommend switching out that filter in between maintenance plans too.
And a lot of times people don't understand how often they should do it. Just kind of a basic rule of thumb is that a 1-inch filter will last up to 3 months. A 4-inch filter will usually last up to 6. Now, if you have multiple animals, multiple cats, dogs, children, kids like to drop stuff into the intake. You know, you might have to change it more often. If you have bad allergies, you don't want it to get to the very end, you know, you might change it out even more often. And then of course there are some filters out there that will last up to a year.
Right.
But again, it's always up to, because
Right.
it depends on what's in the home. And you know, I've gone to a home, quick example, out in Hillsborough.
Mhm.
They're right next to a field.
Right.
They have to change, and they have a what they call a GAPA filter, and it's supposed to last up to a year. They change that every 4 months.
Wow.
Because of dust and
Right.
pollen
Yeah.
is just so thick out there.
Mhm.
It has to change it more often.
Right, yeah, that is a really frequent question. We do get asked how often I should change my filter, and Phoenix is exactly right. It really just depends on how you live in your home and the environment that you want to live in. So, and the other one too, I know you talked about was just other things homeowners can do in between maintenance. And one is that, I know, is there
Okay.
anything else you can?
You know, for the cooling season, you want to make sure that the condenser, or that's what we call it, the AC unit outside, the big box, is clear of debris around it. You don't want anything right up against it. I've had to clear really tall grass out, because that will actually grow up into the coil. Making sure that if you are outside doing yard work and you see that the coil is like a greenish color, that means it's starting to get built up with pollen or grass debris.
Right.
And just to give it a quick rinse with the hose. You know, you don't want to use a pressure washer or anything like that. You don't want to spray it into the middle, but just the outside. You know, just rinse that dust and pollen off, because the system is trying to draw air in, and when stuff is blocking it, you don't get as good at cooling.
Right.
On the heating side, making sure all your vents in the home are open. I know a lot of people will close vents to try to force air into another section, but for most homes, you don't want to close more than one or two. You need to have as many of those open as possible. Other things would be, of course, the filter, the intakes in the home. Some people have floor intakes. If you do, keep that, you know, stuff away from that, because it will suck
Yeah.
right, you know, any type of debris
Absolutely. We also
right
call
into
them
it.
return airs, so the air that's being drawn back into your filter, make sure those are clear.
Right.
For sure, yeah.
And where the vents are, I see people, they put those plastic directionals on there, and that's fine, but I have seen where some people will put a couch
Right.
over the vent. The air needs to blow out as freely as possible, so you get as much heating or cooling into the home as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal here today is really just to help you guys be comfortable in your home year round, and designing that comfort for you is beyond just installing your equipment, but is making sure you're keeping it well maintained and tuned up throughout the year. So when it gets hot or cold, that you have the comfort level that you require in your home to be nice and cozy. So, well, thank you very much for your time, Phoenix,
You're welcome.
today. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much, and we're not comfortable till you are.